Well, hello everyone, welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV Story Mode and PlayFrame and Bozja, and quite possibly the conclusion of the Bozja story. Maybe, depends on how long the story quests on the way up to our last big raid are. I have not done them, I wouldn't know. We'll learn together. The look of steely resolve in Bysalion's eyes suggests the hour of battle draws nigh.
Blade Durami, we've finished preparations for a full-scale assault. We will keep the Imperials occupied while Cid executes his plan to disable the Dalriada. Our work on the ether wave amplifier is complete, and the crystal focus has been mounted on board the ESR. That said, it's hard to gauge the range of the pulse it'll generate. In the event things don't go to plan, have your men ready to disperse.
You have nothing to worry about, Cid. The amplifier will work. I've seen it.
Derman, it's been far too long. A pity our meeting's under such dire circumstances, but never fear. Cid and Mikoto will be in good hands aboard the ESR. The amplifier's been loaded onto the ship, and the engine's been insulated against the blast.
That's not all. The Mark IV DAM's ready to go, and I found just the place to put it.
Our plan for the upcoming battle's twofold. First and foremost, we must draw the enemy's attention on the ground, affording the crew of the ESR the opportunity to disable the warship. This will throw their forces into disarray, granting us the opportunity to press forward and, God's willing, remove the head of their detachment here in Bozja. We speak, of course, of their commander Menenius Sas Lanatus. It'll be no easy endeavor, however, for we must also contend with the likes of Lion Rem Helsos and his entourage of beasts. Nevertheless, we mustn't lose heart. Remain vigilant, remember your training, and I have faith the day will be ours. For Bozja!
We have our heading. That thing. So, what do you need me to be doing in the meantime, Lilia? Well, I guess I better get to work too, eh? First things first, setting up the DAM. The location's right there on your map. Trouble is, there are a few final adjustments that have to be made on site, meaning I'll have to come along. You can handle any Imperials that show up, right? Probably. I'll do my best. You know what, we got plenty to do today. Let's just speed it up. Okay. Where's the spot? There's a spot. Here we are. And there they are, yep. Okie dokie, all of you. I've got odd little things to drop down a pit of its own making. There we go. Good. Okay. A duplicarius, eh? I don't know what that means. I'm targeting you first. Whatever your jam is, I don't trust it. Thank you. Okay. Can I please drop a thing down a hole? That makes sense. It's very dark out here. One can take the fashion endgame too seriously. Everything set, Chief. Sending the coordinates now.
We'll be there as soon as we can. Renok, Mikoto, it's time to head out. Did you get all that, Baisayan? We will hold their attention for as long as we can. Godspeed.
Oh no, the warship!
Whoa.
Damn it! Are we too late?
Sir, look!
The ESR. Gods, please let this plan work.
Oh.
Ah!
What in the seven hells was that?
Could it be the Allegan weapons operational?
Sir, the target's too small to score a direct hit.
They won't be so lucky a second time. Fire again!
Yes, sir. Energy levels at 45%.
Bad news, I'm afraid. The amplifier's been damaged and we've lost the coordinates of the DAM. Of all the rotten luck.
Did you catch that, Lilia? We've lost the coordinates. Quickly, send up a flare.
Understood, Chief.
There! Oh dear.
Now, activate the dam! Come on, don't fail me now.
The engines! They've shut down! Preparing for emergency landing!
What?
Whoa.
Hey! Go team!
Mikoto! No!
Oh, hey! You!
Take us down, now!
Right.
Your Charlian companion is safe, though I cannot say the same for you at present. It would behoove you to retreat.
What? Who is this?
Fran, General of the Dalmascan Resistance. We may save the pleasantries for when you returned to Camp Verdalnish. Fran. Right, Genomus has told me about you. All right, heading back now. Hello again. Good of you to pop in. I see that our future visions wanted to avoid spoilers. Consider it, I guess. Is she actually here? Fran? Fran? You can't hide from me, you're too tall. Fran? Rats. Good job, everyone. Oh, I guess the ship's not back yet. Okay.
The time has come, Blade Darami, to put an end to the Fourth Legion's schemes and to reclaim Bozja's freedom once and for all. Failure is not an option. Soon it will all be over. Ah, Father, would that you could have lived to see this day.
The Allegan's penchant for creating unspeakable horrors never ceases to amaze me. Thank the gods we have you here to help us. If not for you, I doubt the Resistance would have the wherewithal to continue fighting the good fight. But enough of my pessimism. Is there anything else you wish to talk about?
You know, tell me about the ESR.
You look as if you've never seen the ESR before. Do you not recall riding it to Rabanastre when going to meet with Lady Fran?
Oh yeah, that is familiar.
At any rate, we, or rather my dear brother Bagamnon, first commandeered the ship from the wealthy elite of Ulda. After a few modifications by myself and Renok, I dare say it's the fastest airship to ever grace the skies. And so we christened her the ESR, meaning tornado in the old Dalmascan tongue. Funnily enough, it's a name often given to unruly horses. I can assure you, our airship is anything but, so long as you have a delicate touch. We've grown quite attached to her over the years. Through our highs and lows, the ESR has always been there with us. Why, one might say we think of her as family. We were admittedly apprehensive when first joining the Dalmascan Resistance, fearing we'd have to part with our airship. But Lady Fran made sure that would not be the case. If anything should happen to the ESR here in Bozja, though, I'll not mourn her. Having served us so faithfully all these years, I can think of no finer opportunity for her to take her final flight. He who fights the river's flow knows naught of the ocean. An old Dalmascan proverb to remind us that those who tug against the threads of fate often fail to see the tapestry woven by our lives. I believe there's a greater purpose to all that we do. And if fate would have me here, fighting alongside you, then I'll not struggle against the river's flow.
Good words you've said. Thank you. Anyway, right, to business.
Our plan worked, Blade Darami. The Dalriada was forced to make an abrupt landing after the amplifier released its pulse, just as Sid predicted. We did not all emerge from the encounter unscathed, however. Lilia was badly wounded. We've done what we can for her, but she needs proper medical attention.
Oh, there you are.
I've already spoken with Lord Hien, and his chirurgeons are ready and awaiting her arrival in Doma. Could I trouble you for use of the ESR?
Yes, we'd be glad to help.
I would accompany her to Doma as well, if that's all right. This wouldn't have happened if not for me.
You may have glimpsed the future, but you didn't see everything. There was no way of knowing for certain what would happen to any of us. Using the amplifier was my plan, but we all knew the risks involved, including Lilia. This is a war we're fighting, after all. But this is hardly the time to discuss such matters. We have a long journey ahead of us, and I dare say your healing magics will be of great comfort to her until we reach Doma. While they tend to our wounded comrade, let us deliver the final blow to the enemy. With the Dalriada disabled, and reinforcements newly arrived from Dalmasca, we may never have a finer opportunity to strike.
We will offer whatever assistance we can if it means defeating the 4th Imperial Legion. Though we can offer little in way of materiel, I've brought several vehicles which I believe will prove helpful in this final endeavor.
General Fran, you have our gratitude. I'll see they're put to good use. It is time we make ready. The coming battle will decide the fate of Bozja. But, as we've seen, our enemies willing to employ any means at their disposal, no matter how reckless or deplorable. We have reason to believe that they've obtained a deadly new weapon, and we must be prepared to adapt our strategy as the situation warrants. Blade Durami, may we count on your assistance one last time?
It'd be wild to not do this last thing, Bysalian, after all this time and investment. We will free Bozja together.
And there you have it. Time and again he's fought at our side, and we've overcome many a foe. Now we strive into battle once more, and by the grace of the gods, victory will be ours. 'Tis true, the Imperial's presence in the sky is greatly diminished, but Menenius has yet to reveal this Allagan weapon of his, and that's to say nothing of Lion and his beasts. Our victory will not be easily won, but I have faith that, together, we will prevail in the end.
For God's sake, boy, what did I tell you about bowing out with a bit of grace? It's over, Menenius. We've lost. Even so, the relic must not fall into the hands of the Bosnians. I'll have it jettisoned from the Dalriada into the ruins whence it came. Once our troops have been evacuated, I'll engage the ship's self-destruct sequence and seal the entrance, keeping the relic beyond the reach of those savages. Meanwhile, you are to take the rest of our detachment back to Dalmasca and crush the resistance. Then, and only then, are you to return here and reclaim Gabranth's weapon. Am I understood? So it's the coward's way out, then? Not man enough to face him after your resounding failure. It was I Gabranth entrusted with the Dalriada, his final hope of claiming these lands as his own. If that hope is to die here, then I would perish with it. I've naught but my life to offer to make amends for all we've lost. Look, Menenius, everyone's bound to have a spot of bad luck eventually. Even you. Now isn't the time for drastic measures. As much as I'd enjoy seeing an arrogant, fork-tongued prig such as yourself go down in a fiery ball of ruin, I know Gabranth still has a part for you to play. If you want to bury the relic, fine. I'll even help you. But when you're done, we go and speak with him together and explain what happened. All right? Your stubbornness never ceases to confound me. Good. If that's what it takes to get through to you, I'll be as stubborn as I like.
and you would call me the arrogant one.
Yipes. Oh. The Dalriada is now accessible. You may now access the critical engagement, the Dalriada. This critical engagement will be initiated when a sufficient number of players, etc., etc. Furthermore, so on. Be sure to prepare lost actions for the lost finds cache and so forth, etc. All right. Our final big raid fight of this whole optional side content thing in Bozja is about to commence. Let me gather the very large and very ready crew. BRB. And here we go, a very large gaggle of 40+ geese gathered and ready for the final battle. Unfortunately, we cannot launch right into the final battle right away. Similar to Castrum Lacus Litore, you can't just queue for this like you can most other dungeons and raids and things. Instead, these particular raids don't really become available for anyone to go into until the whole group has been running around this instance of Zadnor for a while. Fortunately, we can speed things up a bit by doing skirmishes in the area, doing the critical engagements, duels, etc. All these activities sort of remove minutes from the invisible clock. So we're just going to run around and cause some trouble for a bit and wait for the raid to invite us in. And there it is. Awesome. Just before a duel is about to start, too. Never pops up at a convenient time, does it? Whatever. This is what we're here for anyway. I'll see you inside. Let's go! Welcome to the final large raid of the Bozja war effort, the Dalriada. And the very good-looking group who's going to obliterate it. Well, mostly obliterate it. As with the previous fights, we're going to try to actually take this a little slower. Everyone's going to be slowing their damage output down to a reasonable degree so that we can actually see these fights before they end. But even so, it's a very competent group, and I'm confident in our victory. Now, once we get started out here, we're actually going to split up our group right away, similar to how we started out at the Castrum fight. Me and my little party are going to branch off to the left. The rest are going to branch off to the right. They are going to be fighting a succession of mini-bosses, basically, kind of a little mini-boss rush over on their side. We will have a different boss fight to do higher up. But that's not the fun part. No, the fun part is that in order to get higher up, we are going to go for a little ride.
If we are to have any hope of lowering the ship's gangplank, we must send a small unit of soldiers to slip past the defenses.
Indeed, and to do so, we're going to go on a ride.
Indeed, I should think no more than 8, lest they draw attention. We will do what we can to keep the Imperials distracted. Meanwhile, the detachment must take the Star Chasers and steal inside.
Which we have now done. Riding on the, I believe, the same bikes from Final Fantasy XII. It's a short ride, but a nice one. But here is the boss who we will be fighting. Up here. While the rest of the crew does the boss rush downstairs. Sartavoir the Inferno. This is a character who you could be actually fighting in one of those duels and critical engagements out in the field. I don't know where exactly. but some of the mechanics are similar, which makes sense. Let's go! Aha, so it was you who thought to sneak inside. Well, this suits me just fine. Time is mine to command, mine to control. So this is the first little mechanic we need to watch for, and it's one we've seen in other fights previously. You see the clocks on the floor. Some are spinning fast, some are spinning slow. The fast spinning ones will explode first. The slow spinning ones will go off second, and if you're paying better attention, you get off of those before they explode. Rise from the ashes and lay waste to our enemies. Next move, these little phoenix things are going to pop up outside the arena. Okay, outside the arena, and they're going to dash across and do damage in front of them so you don't be in front of them. I'm afraid time is not on your side, friend, for it bends to my will. Now for reverse time eruption, similar to the clock thing before, except this time it's reversed, so the fast ones are going to go off first. And unlike before as well, this time I'm going to move in time. There we go. That's how you do a thing and not get hit. Next up incoming is pyrokinesis, which is just sort of a big raid-wide damage thing to keep the healers on their toes. And then hyper-pyroplexy. This one's a pretty standard. Hey, here's a bunch of puddles with some orbs that are going to fall in them. Everyone stand in a puddle so none of the orbs touch the ground. We've seen plenty of it before. Standard little cross AoE thing here. I really do appreciate that this final raid of Bozja is nowhere near the difficulty of Baldesian Arsenal and Eureka. That one had me panicked the entire time. This is just nice and chill. It seems you truly do live up to your reputation. And now for a phase change in the fight. But you've not won yet. I'll offer my soul to the fires if I must. Become flames made flesh. I mustn't succumb to the flames. Not yet. I'll not sully his memory by giving up now. If this is where I must die, I'll not do so alone. Bosh, I pray you are watching. Yes, now, Sartavoir has become demon, with some new moves. Still a pretty easy fight, though. Overall, you wouldn't even be seeing any of these moves if the group wasn't withholding damage so much. Legatus Bosch taught me well, as you will now see. I pour my all into this blade. So, some of these little X markers you see here got dropped where some of us were positioned and facing. And we need to stand away from them because they're going to do a little AoE around them and then also do a big line AoE in front of them. Kind of similar to some stuff we've seen before. Okay, look out, he's about to do a big thing on the left side. So yeah, we've seen a lot of mechanics like these previously. All pretty standard. The visuals of the specifics, a little bit different, but on the whole. Okay, so yep, some of us being targeted with these little circles. We shouldn't overlap them too much. Some of us targeted with stack markers over there. Anybody not currently targeted by a circle should stack up and share the damage. Nice and easy. Oop, move over. All good. I think that's about all this guy has to offer. And I am going to, real quick, change the essence I have equipped so that it stops making the kind of obnoxious sound every time I hit an enemy where is safe to stay. Here's fine. Here's fine. All right. In between the phoenixes. All right. Slow clock. Slow clock. What? Oh, nope. Nope. That was, I didn't see the name of the move. That was a reverse time thing. The fast clock went off first. I did that exactly wrong. Pretty much precisely wrong. Pinpoint accuracy. Extremely precise in its incorrectness is what that was. It's fine, he's almost dead. Oop. Little meteor pool things again. Everyone in a puddle. There we go.
The flames have been extinguished.
We yet remain unscathed, though I honestly cannot say how. Now we wait for the others to do their part.
Oh, yes, right. So what were the others up to down there? Yes, meanwhile, as we were doing that fight, the other party was down below, doing their whole succession of battles against little mini-bosses who were no more difficult than the one we just fought up here. Pretty straightforward and simple. I do actually kind of like that in these larger group activities that people may be grinding a lot of times for resources to get fancy gear they want, that they do actually have multiple paths so that there's some variety. At least a little bit. It's neat. Anyway. Now we hit the big gangplank control switch button. And that should get us in.
They've done it. Quickly, into the Dalriada.
Let's board this battleship. Just as soon as we're all ready. I don't actually know where we're going to be meeting up with the other gang. Did they come through that? That's not a door. Nope. We're meeting up with them further ahead. I know what I'm doing. Shut up. Oh, yes. Also, there's that. Just a little mini-boss we'll all beat up on for funsies. There's the rest of the group. And a bunch of our NPC characters as well. Love that they're in here. Let's beat up the big Final Fantasy VII Scorpion. I don't even know if this thing has mechanics. I think it just dies too fast. It's a thing for us all to do now that we're together. Goodness, I'm glad that this is not as hard as Baldessian Arsenal. That it was that complex and that failure gets you booted from the thing and have it to start over. It's so mean. And like Final Fantasy XI, I guess that's what makes it memorable, but I'm grateful all the same.
The main force must press onward. We also need one unit down the left and the right corridors.
Oh. Gotta grab my spoils. Grab the spoils. Grab them. Okay, there we go. Now for our next actual boss. You've come far, rebels, but no further. I've at last unraveled the mysteries of Orosite, you see, and I require an audience for my next great work.
Whoa. Surprised, are we?
It's kind of cute. Is this Final Fantasy XII design for Kukulin? We fought a few Kukulins over time. It's either the 12 one or the Tactics one. I want to say it's the 12 one. It makes me happy it's how much screen time Final Fantasy XII has gotten in 14. Feels right. Anyway, we fight.
Yes, scream for me. I would hear every whimper, every cry, unto your dying wails of agony.
Okay, so this first move here, you see the green puddles? We do not need to stand in the green puddles.
He would turn us into monsters as well. On your guard, everyone!
So we're about to get marched forward, and when we do...
I can feel my power growing, spreading. Soon my traps will be sprung.
Okay, that's not forward, that's left. Okay, well if you stand in the green puddle, then it turns you into a slime. As you can see, pictured here, slime. I'm actually kind of cute. As failures go, I wish all of my mechanics failures resulted in such that... Okay, it's over. Slime is over. Anyway, for this next move, we actually need to be slime, because the boss is going to jump around and land on us, kind of at random. Just everybody in the party. Anyone that gets landed on, we're very flat. That's very cute. Look at us. Anyone that gets landed on, if we are not in slime form, gets hurt real bad. I think 2 hits from that move will kill you. And you also get pretty badly stunned. But if you're in slime form, it doesn't hurt nearly so bad, like barely at all. And also you get to be a slime. Oh, danger puddles. Get out of them. Don't be in them. Glad there was not another wave of them. We were running out of running room. What is this one? Ambient pulsation is... Right, this is a succession of 3 groups of AoEs. We need to start over here. Somebody hit me with a Lost Swift action, which is basically like a fancy Bozja move that lets you, like, bumps up your run speed briefly very, very fast. I didn't know somebody else could use that on me, and I wasn't expecting it, so I was suddenly like, zoom! Very helpful for that mechanic, though. For dodging successive big AoE zones.
Much appreciated, whoever did that. All right, time for another fleshy necromass. It is time to become slime once more. Slime is safety. And also pretty cute. Even when you're squished. I love that you get squished. Okay. Thus concludes slime time. Okay, now we're gonna get force marched again. And, okay, left face. I was not paying attention to the specific direction I was going to get force marched. I thought it was always forward, but nope, it's a specific direction. I was ready this time. Okay, successive big AoE puddles, and someone's hitting us with Lost Swift again, so we zoom in. Gotta go fast. There we go. Those successive big AoE splashes go off in the order they appeared, so just dodge the first one and then move to where the first one was, and you're fine. Love hearing all these Final Fantasy XII tunes. Alright, this is just another raid-wide AoE, unavoidable. To just give the middle fingers to healers. And for no other reason. Oh yes, now you see the little spinning hand over my head. We've seen this before. Whatever direction it is pointing when I press in a direction, like to move, that's where I will run. So you basically have to figure out how to time your movement, well, like when the arrow finger is pointing, where you want to go. Oof. I don't know if I described it in my panic, but wherever the pointing finger is pointing, when you press forward to run, that is the direction you will run. So you kind of have to wait until the finger's pointing where you want to be. I'm seeing AoEs, and I'm seeing, oh, some other characters are also marked with little marker things. Various AoEs are happening. We're trying to just kill him. He's nearly dead. And I think we've seen everything now. Kill it. Kill it. Thank you.
But yours, how could you?
And we win. Get the stuff.
I both pity and fear the man who might covet the terrible power of our sight. I can but wonder what horrors yet await us.
We're about halfway through now.
For a blessing, our detachments continue to hold fast against the enemy. Let us press onward.
Now this is maybe one of the most interesting parts of this whole thing. You see this room. This is kind of a control room. Our whole group is going to need to split into 3 smaller teams. One going to the left, one going to the right, and one staying in here in the control room. You see these little... Well, hang on.
The security system appears to be linked between these 2 corridors. If it is to be disabled, no doubt we must do so from both sides. Let us make haste.
So this group is going to stay here. They're going to stand on those 4 panels throughout. And you see those monitors up there. Hopefully they'll be capturing some footage. I can show you what's going on. So we are each going to be in these corridors.
Intruder alert, intruder alert. Defense systems have been activated.
There's a lot of defense systems in here.
Damn it, stay sharp, everyone.
In addition to the little red laser grids that are occasionally going across the floor here, we can't really do anything about that other than try to wait for an opening before crossing. The big blue beam that just happened, that is something that the people in the control room can see is about to happen on the screens. The screens are showing where the security systems are going to go off so they can communicate to us in chat, hey, look out, big blue laser coming on the left side or the right side, whichever one it's about to do it on. We can't see that telegraph, but they can, so they have to communicate it to us. Also, they're getting attacked by ads the whole time, and they have to stay on those 4 panels, because if they move off those 4 panels, these floors under us and these corridors will electrify and slowly kill us. Like, not as slowly as you'd like, they'll pretty fastly kill us. Okay, but we're through. We're through. And hitting a button. Hit the button. We have to each hit the button on both sides in order to open all the doors so that everyone can proceed forward.
At last, the path is clear.
And here's everybody united and alive. Good job being united and alive, everyone. Control room group will be here soon.
There's still no sign of this Allegan relic.
Here they come. Thank you for all the heads-ups.
Nor of their commander. We mustn't let down our guard. He could be upon us at any moment.
But first, we've got one more little mini-boss to burn through real quick, now that we're all reconvened. He's gonna do his little spinning succession of AoEs, but not for very long, because then it's going to die. Moving on to the greater hold. By the gods, what is that? It is our next boss, looking pretty big and impressive. You've arrived at last. The Liberator, come to cut the head off the snake. How brave, yet foolish. It's Menenius in a mech. Mechnenius. No, Menenius in a mech is fine. The mech is called Sonian, though. In case you wanted to know that. It's Menenius in a mech. And our third boss for the day, let's go. The Bozjan resistance ends here. So, we're gonna see a few moves up front that are sort of slowly teaching us what to expect here. This Magitech Halo is a standard donut AoE. Soon afterwards, we will see the next kind of main mechanic. There it is, Magitech Cross Ray. A big cross AoE. Pretty standard so far, nothing that different. However, these will soon be adjusted somewhat. And I think we're about to see it now. Energy levels at maximum, engage. You see the arrows on the floor, that is showing where this AoE is about to move before going off. Whoop. Right here. It moves about a third of the arena, basically. So a couple of Saurians, Menenius's, Mechnenius's, whatever, mechanics can do that sort of whoop, move, spread out, spread out, spread out. A couple of this boss's mechanics can do that last-minute movement thing, so we'll want to watch for the arrows from time to time. Like, for example, here. It's about to move where I am. Let's move. Let's be standing over here, actually. That's better. Much better and less dying. Fall back, Menenius. I can take it from here. Whoop. Knockback thing. And from the top rope. A new contestant has entered the battle. Hope you weren't planning to keep him all to yourself. We still have a score to settle from the castrum. Lion is back for another round with Dawon, the younger. Stubborn to a fault as ever. Fine, let us be about it then. Dawon, I need you to feed some ether into that toy of his. We still need him for this. Perhaps if they could be divided. Guys, I gotta describe mechanics. I get you. All right, so now we're fighting both of these bosses, though. Okay, move. To the donut, actually past the donut, because arrows. Remember the arrows and the donuts. Also, we're gonna be seeing some mechanics from Dawon and Lion, kind of like we saw in the castrum. You see these red balls and white plumes? The red balls are gonna become circle AoEs and the white plumes will become donuts. So you gotta find safe places to be. Spread out, everyone. Goodness, this is a lot to describe at once. Okay, we're all spread out. Also, there's a stack marker over there. And I think we're gonna need to gather under, yep, donut. Gather under Dawon. In the safety donut. Basically, from here on, the two of them each do one of their mechanics simultaneously, so we have to figure out a way to dodge both simultaneously. And Sonian's gonna have a couple of new things to throw at us. Quit playing around, Menenius, and follow my lead. If you insist. All right, so Dawon's doing his little obey 3 jumps marker. You remember these little marker things? Menenius, or Sonian, I don't really know what to call him, is going to twirl. You saw the little yellow glowing line path on the ground earlier? You might not have because of how chaotic everything is. Where do I go? Say, not here, not here, not here, not here. Ow. You do not want to be in front of spin to win Menenius because it really hurts bad very quickly. Very easy to die. I described nothing in there. The point is, I'm still alive despite getting hit by most of it. Thank goodness for being a tank. And thank goodness also for all the healers and everyone working to keep me alive out here. So, okay, we're gonna see a whole bunch of ground... Nope, don't. We're gonna see a whole bunch of ground AoEs to look out for in combination. There's too much stuff to describe at once. It's impossible. Stack up. Best you can.
Fortunately, these two, like, essentially share a health pool, I believe, so we don't have to worry about, like, defeating them simultaneously or one after the other or anything. It's one less thing to worry about, at least. By the way, the physical damage dealers are focusing on Dawon here, and the magical one's focusing on Sonian, because they're each relatively weak to those things. Does that make sense? I hope so.
Lion, to me! Hurry! Watch your tone, boy. No need to rush. Now, where were we?
Okay, all right. Fireballs and plumes, look out for that. Also, yellow glowing line on the floor. Menenius is going to spin. I think, okay, yes, here is safe. And then we need to move and not be in the spinning path. Oh, goodness, more of these. Okay. Stand in the center of the little donut safety zone. I think we're fine. Please be fine. Don't. Come over here. Oh, no. That was not the thing to do, but it's fine. Didn't hurt that bad. I am geared entirely for, like, tankiness right now.
I'm releasing ether from my armor's core. Take it, Lion. I'll not have you bowing out just yet.
Yeah, I am geared up entirely for defense and damage reduction to survive. My damage output, minimal, but that was going to be the case anyway. Okay, donut. Moving donut. Move where the donut go. And then plumes. Stand near plumes. Or just away from fireballs. One of the two. Never mind, they're dead. Whew. Boy, you two are stressful.
You fought well, Warrior of Light, but I've no intention of allowing you to leave this ship.
Impossible. Not even the Ultima weapon could have broken those bonds. Well, here's the Allegan Harrier, the Diablo armament. Our final boss. Who looks very intimidating, but for the most part isn't too bad, except for there's going to be a couple parts that are actually going to be a little scary. For me. We'll see how I do. I'm just going to do as the smarter people do. Let me get my stuff, and then I'm going to, when we get to the hard mechanics, just copy them. That's the key to victory and survival. Copy the smart people. But yes, say hello to Mecha Diablo. Very cool looking. And enjoy this weirdly surf rock musical accompaniment. Odd fit, but I kind of like it.
Warning, central control system failure. Warning.
I return to myself at last.
And the fight begins. So, the person who's main tanking for this fight is standing way off to the right corner because the tank buster that they're getting hit with constantly also damages in an area that we don't want to be in.
Flames from the bowels of the void shall lick at your heels.
Alright, so for this move, you see the glowing little lines on the floor that were just created? The middle one's gonna go off first. So we want to let that happen first. It doesn't always go middle to outside, sometimes it goes outside and middle. You gotta pay attention. Which I wasn't doing, but I just copied the smart people, which, again, like I said, is the thing to do. I'm telling you all of these mechanics, explaining how they work, but really, all you gotta do is follow the smart people. And 9 times out of 10, it's gonna work great. Learning mechanics is for suckers. And smart people. But here's the mechanic that actually is going to be scary, and that I am definitely following the person with the little safety Dorito over their head for. You see the little gates that have popped up, the little portals that are marked with different colored symbols and things? The boss is charging a very big beam that is going to fire straight ahead into one of these portals. The beam is then going to come out of the corresponding portal and go into another portal and repeat until all the portals have been used. So it goes into yellow, is about to pop out of yellow. There we go. I think it went into blue. Yep, okay. Coming out of blue, move.
The gates must be opened. The energies of the Nether must flow free once more.
Diablo, you can't be talking while I'm trying to follow people.
Drown in the embrace of night everlasting.
Diablo, shut up. I'm trying to explain mechanics and dodge mechanics. You can't do this. It's too much. Anyway, I'm alive. I survived the move. And this surprises me. But that's the mechanic that scares me the most, I think.
Hearken to me, wayward souls of the black. Make known your misery.
What's he about to throw at us? Is this the, Oh no, this is these little Magitech big things. They're about to fire a beam kind of in front of themselves, so we just need to be not standing in front of them. Stand behind them. Very similar to Ultima Weapon, actually. Ultima Weapon has that move. I think some of the other weapons had that move, too. Back in the Wurlet stuff. Yeah, like Sapphire Weapon.
Your frail, feeble flesh belies such sumptuous souls. I must have them. I must have them all.
Okay, this is another one to look out for. You see the little red circles? They will expand and become big red circles. And if you're standing in them when they go off, you die. So watch where the little red circles are and stay far away. I think there's just 2 rounds of them, though. We're fine. All right. Lots of AoE. Just spread out. Keep dodging the danger puddles. And all will be well. Okay, there's that first green line on the floor. That's going to go off in a little while. There's the second one. So now we know the order. But now the boss will move over to the other side and repeat. So, okay, all right. Move to the center, but to the side of the center. You know, side, middle. There it is. Okay, we're fine. So there's a little bit more to watch for on that move, but still not too bad. So long as there are smart people to follow. If you take nothing else away from this series, that pro strat is it. Okay, so we've got these orbs that are going to get tethered to each other and pull toward each other, and we don't want them to touch, so we're just going to run into them ourselves and pop them. Pop all the bubbles. Easy. All right, I think we're going to have another round of the big beam with the portals to look out for. Also, it goes without saying, but don't touch the blue ring outside this arena. That will kill you as well. Okay, so big beam going into green, I think. Green, yeah. Then come out of green and then go into red, I think. And then, okay. Then to yellow. Right, all right. Follow the smart people. Why am I trying to math this out? Just follow the smart people. With the safety Dorito. Who's jumping up and down to be even more visually noticeable for us. What a champion. That's a considerate soul, right? The donut! Look out! Get in that donut! Okay. We've seen most of what Diablo armament will throw at us for now, until we get to... Okay. Little circles become big circles. Lots of little circles, right? The second round kind of pops up underneath wherever we're standing for the first one, which is a mean trick, but we're okay. Now, as soon as we get Diablo armament down to 10%, maybe like 15 or 20% health. Oop, Magitech fits again. Also the green floor. So off to one side. Wait for the middle to go off first. Then go. And then, behind the bits. Behind the bits. Behind, nope, behind these bits. And here's a knockback circle. Position to end up somewhere not in front of the bits, firing the beams. What was I saying? Right, as soon as we get, I think we're about at that point now, actually. Diablo is going to start going bonkers and throwing a lot of mechanics at us simultaneously at once. New ones. Just a barrage of chaos. So, I will not explain this very well. Fair warning, it's too many at once. So we're gonna need to look out for a bunch of AoEs on the floor, kind of going off in cascading order. We've got the green lines. First the center, then the sides. So lots to watch out for there. This is going to hurt a little bit. Okay, didn't quite get out of that one. That's fine. Okay, dodge that. Then that last one.
No, something is wrong. My corruption detected in spectral data. Readying emergency system purge.
Here it goes. Okay, so now it's going a little berserk and firing off all these little things on the floor. We're also going to see some dice pop up. Yep, there it is. The dice is counting down. When it counts down to 0, I need to not be moving or doing anything, or it'll hurt. And now I've been targeted with another thing. I'm going to take this off to the side. It's going to be a beam, I think. Yep, okay. Oh, now stack up. It's a lot of things at once. It's a lot of things at once. On top of the laser light show the boss is doing, which looks very cool. Distractingly so. But I think we survived most of it. Now we just take the boss down so that it can't do that again. Yay! We live! Whew! Well done, all of you! We have survived the Dalriada. And we are victorious. And that's Bozja, effectively complete. Good job, everyone. I'll grab my stuff real fast. Good job, all of you. Thank you for making time and preparing and coming out here and helping me get through all this and being smart people who are easy to follow for survival. You're all the best. Every single one of you, thank you very much. What a great bunch. But yes, I'll be thanking you all more in a little bit. For now, let's head back outside. There's a story to conclude. Hello.
Blade Darami, thank goodness you're unharmed. What is this place? Lion! Menenius!
Whoa.
Everyone, fall back, now! Menenius, you fool! It's not supposed to end like this. This is the Allegan relic.
By the gods, it will destroy us all. In the name of Queen Gunhildr, I will not allow you to harm these children of Bozja.
Queen Gunhildr. She
saved us.
Oh, Messiah.
No. Leave me be.
Please, Messiah, you must hold on. I promised you we will rebuild Bozja, and I want you to see it for yourself.
For what purpose? Remorse? Repentance? Do not misunderstand, Baisayan. I care not for forgiveness. Today, I fulfilled my duty to the Queen. Nothing more. I am a Bosjan, yes, but I'm also an Imperial, a traitor. Justice must be served. The people demand it. Fulfill your duty, as I have mine. Please. It is tough choices. But it is the thing she requests. Seems the thing to honor.
No, Blade Darami. This is not your burden to bear. Your sacrifice will not be forgotten, Messiah, and I pray it need never again be repeated.
Ah, and here we are. I need some more tea. Goodness. One moment. Ah, nothing like a good tea after a successful operation and victory in battle. Victory. We'll work on it. Anyway, Marsoc, sorry. Tea break is over. I'm ready to debrief.
At long last, victory is ours. There are still remnants of the 4th Legion to contend with, but I believe it's safe to say the war for Bozja is over. Many of our brothers and sisters were lost on our path to freedom, but I take heart in knowing that their sacrifices were not in vain, that our dream of a new Bozja will finally come true. Baisayan has returned to Gangos, and I have no doubt he'd be glad for your company. Misia? We thought it best if her remains were not returned to Gungos. To some, she was not more than a hated enemy, and even in death she would be an object of their scorn. But rest assured, I will see to it personally that she is given a proper burial.
Glad someone's considering these things. Okay, back to Gungos. Yay, victory celebrations. With victory squats.
Much more fun than defeat squats.
I believe congratulations are in order.
Blade Durami, words can scarcely convey my gratitude for all you've done for the people of Bozja. Though the fight for Bozja is over, our work is far from done. When faced with the 4th Legion, the Bosnian resistance stood as a united, cohesive unit. But I now foresee disputes between its various factions as they seek to pursue their individual aims. For that reason, I wish to first create a council of leaders, that we might discuss and establish laws to govern our people. I've already begun drafting documents that may one day serve as our constitution, though it remains to be seen if they will meet with the others' approval. You see, I've chosen to base a number of my writings on the principles of the 4th Legion. With all due respect, sir, I do not think it is wise to openly admit to borrowing from the imperial doctrine of all things. The people would be up in arms. They deserve to know the truth, Marsak, and I have my reasons for choosing such an approach. While many of us dedicated ourselves to the resistance, there are those who would rather live in peace, even if that means submitting to imperial rule. Some, like Misia, saw the Empire's ways as preferable to our own. To discard everything that came as a result of the occupation would cause more harm than good. There are many things introduced by the Imperials from which we stand to benefit. It would be foolish to dismiss them simply because they came from the enemy. Make no mistake, the Bozja I intend to build will be free of discrimination and poverty. A nation of the people, by the people, and for the people. As such, it will require the understanding and cooperation of all. A great deal of blood has been shed that we might come this far, and I pray we never forget, that we may never again have to endure such tragedy.
Well, I for one have every confidence who's talking that you will lead Bozja to a bright and prosperous future. If Alamigo and Doma are able to thrive, I see no reason why Bozja can't do the same. For real, who's talking though? Oh, hello. Sid, you've been around long enough, you should know by now. Announce yourself.
Sid, Mikoto, welcome back.
And here I thought you might actually take a moment to enjoy your hard-earned victory. Such steadfast dedication to rebuilding Bozja is proof enough the people are in good hands.
Did Lulia not return with you? Has she yet to recover?
It was touch and go at first, extracting the shrapnel from her stomach, but she's doing much better now. You should have seen her protesting when we insisted she stay behind to rest. Yeah, hello. Dermond, I was worried sick about you. Right when you needed me most, I let my guard down. Sorry I couldn't be there with you to the end. Never mind all that. How are you doing? How's wounds? I've never felt better. As a matter of fact, I was about to gather my things and head back to... Ow! Oh, my stomach.
Maybe don't. Sounds like the chirurgeons are taking good care of you, Lilia, and I trust you won't be giving them any trouble. It'd be a shame if I had to send Jesse to keep an eye on you. Sid, can you hear my link shell from here? I thought that I was the only one who could hear this thing. Have I been broadcasting to everyone within a 10-foot radius? Have I had this on speakerphone the entire time? The implications. I'm just going to pretend you're tapping in on this call, Sid, for my sanity. It'd be a shame if I had to send Jesse to keep an eye on you.
Jesse, I think I'd prefer the shrapnel.
What in the... What are y'all standing about like a bunch of prissy old maids? You won, didn't you? Relax. Come on, have a pint or two, or 3.
Wheresoever your path may lead, it seems fortune sees fit to smile upon you. Not only have you led the resistance to rout the 4th Legion, by some miracle, the weapon they unearthed from these lands was also vanquished. On behalf of the people of Dalmasca, you have my sincerest thanks. Of course, the war is not truly over until we've dealt with Gabranth. He's no doubt planning his next move, and I intend to be prepared for our next encounter with the Imperials. When that time comes, I dare say we would benefit from your assistance. Until the next time, perhaps in Dalmasca.
We gotta play 12 one of these days, man. Y'all should hear how cool this actual voice actress sounds. And not me and my bad impersonation. Another nation freed, following in the footsteps of Doma and Alamico. A dream realized, thanks in part to one troubled soul whom I shall never forget for all my days. In the eyes of the people, she will forever remain a criminal, a traitor. Yet it was she who delivered us from certain destruction. Her crimes were said to be unforgivable, but what of ours? Was it not our callousness, our animus, that fueled her hatred? I squandered every opportunity to guide her, ignored every unspoken plea for help. Her loss is a scar on my heart that will never heal, a ceaseless reminder of my inadequacy and shame.
Can you sense anything? Then it is as I thought. The last of the blade's residual ether is spent. The queen is no more.
Who could have foreseen that Messia would carry on Queen Gunhilder's duty, protecting her people to the very last? Did she believe her final act could effect change in the world? Or perhaps did she at last find the means to do so within herself? An arduous task in either case. A pity we'll never know.
The Lady of Blades, save the Queen, was returned to us. Devoid of the Queen's grace, perhaps, but not of her hopes for a brighter tomorrow, nor of Messias for a better Bozja. Indeed, their hopes shall live on in me, in Marsak, in all of our people. The lives lost for our freedom will not have done so in vain. This I swear. Bozja will rise again, a land of peace and prosperity they would be proud to call home. From the Chronicles of the Bosnian Revolution, by Salyan Ulgash.
And that concludes. Nope. Almost concludes. That is to say, the Bosja. Honestly, do you actually have anything else to add?
At last, we've done it. Bozja, our home, is free from the Fourth Legion. I have not the words to tell you how thankful I am for everything you've done. Were it possible, I would ask that you remain here in Bozja to assist in our efforts to rebuild, though I understand full well the infeasibility of such a request. The path before us now is a long one, but it is one that shall be paved with peace and prosperity for all. If there's nothing else, I must return to my duties.
I think I have asked most of this, but what will become of Bozja now?
The battle for Bozja is over, but our work is far from finished. Indeed, one might say the true battle begins now, as the various factions of the Resistance seek to fulfill their individual agendas. Which is why I wish to first create a council of their leaders, that we might discuss and establish laws to govern all of our people. I have already begun drafting documents that may one day serve as our constitution, though it remains to be seen if they will meet with the others' approval.
It seems like the same thing you were saying earlier. Is this just a repeat?
You see, I've chosen to base a number of my writings on the principles of the Fourth Legion. Many would argue it's a misguided plan, but I have no intention of doing this in secret. The people's trust requires honesty, and I have no intention of repeating the mistakes of our forebears.
That's a little different.
A great many of us did not hesitate to join the Resistance, some even giving their lives for our cause. But we mustn't forget that there were those who chose to remain in the Imperial provinces, and though it was a singular instance, Messia was persuaded to join the Fourth Legion despite pledging herself to our cause. I cannot help but consider Gabranth's point of view, the philosophy behind his leadership. To discard everything that came as a result of the occupation would cause more harm than good. There are many things introduced by the Imperials from which we stand to benefit, and it would be foolish to dismiss them simply because they came from the enemy. Make no mistake, the Bozja I intend to build will be free of discrimination and poverty, a nation of the people, by the people, and for the people. As such, it will require the understanding and cooperation of all. A great deal of blood has been shed that we might come this far, and I pray we never forget that we may never again have to endure such tragedy. Once a constitution has been ratified and the foundations of our governing body are in place, we'll hold an election that the people may choose officials they believe best represent their ideals. If all goes to plan, the first of many elections will be held within the next 2 years. When next you visit Bozja, I should think you will be proud to see the nation we've become.
I'm excited to see it. I hope we do someday. Don't know if we will, but I really hope we do. Anyway, Marsak.
If you're looking for Mikoto and the others, they've all returned to their homes. I expect you too will be leaving us before long. Though, if I may be frank, I believe I speak for many when I say we're reluctant to see you go. Were it possible, I would ask you to stay and help us in the rebuilding of Bozja, but I understand there are otherworldly matters that require your attention.
And otherworldly as well. You don't need to worry about that part.
We shall forever be in your debt, Blade Darami. Wherever duty demands you go, know that you will always have allies here in Bozja. Farewell.
Thank you. And a farewell to you also. For with that, Dermond's Bozja journey is complete. Meanwhile, at Valnain and Dalmasca. Oh, look who's still alive.
Thank you, Lion. You are dismissed.
That's all. Menenius is dead, and that's all you have to say.
What would you have me say then? You could at least acknowledge one of your most loyal followers gave his life for the sake of your ambitions. Menenius understood such sacrifice was inevitable, and by all accounts, he did not waver when faced with his demise. Such strength is needed if we are to succeed. Time is short, Lion. My time is short. So, it finally caught up with you. A damned shame. Lest the soldiers begin to believe failure may go without consequence, I would have you sent to the jails in Menenius' stead. I trust this will not pose a problem for you.
Fine. Legatus Gibranth, sir. We have recovered the relics Menenius unearthed in the Bozjan ruins. Oh dear. Return of the Queen. Save the Queen, Chapter the 4th. Certain field record entries have been updated under collection in the duty section of the main menu. New gear can be purchased, etc. Cool. There we go. And that about concludes it. Mostly. Actually, there's a little bit sort of left. There's kind of an epilogue, kind of, sort of, to get to. We might do a little bonus episode after this next time to get to that, because it's a weird case. I'll explain it then. But that concludes the content, like playable content at least, of Bozja. Unless you are the sort who just really had fun back there and want to go back and do the grind and get all the gear and learn all the fights. There's lots to enjoy in Bozja. Honestly, I enjoyed it a lot more than Eureka, even just in my brief time in it, speedrunning it. But before we wrap up, it is time to say some thanks to some people who deserve it. These people, the Dantalis Theater Company, are remarkable. I've been singing their praises throughout this whole stretch, but I really need to emphasize just how much work these people did. I am so grateful to all of them. They made time for, like, goodness, how many weeks was it? Bozja alone was like 6 to 8 weeks of getting together to tackle this content, to do the grinding to get Derman leveled up, running these dungeons, all the prep to running these dungeons. These people set aside a lot of time, and not even just on camera. I've been, at this point, recording Shadowbringers stuff for about 7 months, just about, because it's a lot of content. And for about that entire time, these people have been preparing, training, getting leveled up, learning the duels, learning the dungeons, learning all the mechanics so that we can all, in a coordinated fashion, gather together and quickly and cleanly run all this stuff. And I'm so grateful to all these people for coming together and making time to join. It's been a very fun, special thing. So permit me some specific special thanks. First of all, a shout out to Spec Ops, this crew right here. These are the people who trained for all of the duels in all of these different zones. Each one of them practiced a specific duel for weeks, months in some cases, trying to learn the mechanics because it's really hard. You only have to mess up once and you lose. And not everybody ended up needing to do the duel for our grind session, like only a handful of these ended up actually happening during our session and on camera, but these folks were prepared for every single possible one. And watching them attempt these duels, whether they succeeded or not, because again, bonkers hard, impressed the heck out of me. This Indigo Star salute is for you and all the preparation you did. Well done. Also, shout out to the Secret Service. We didn't all gather together for a group shot because they operate better in the shadows, but they know who they are. And I appreciate every single one of them for their steadfast protection of this tiny little potato with a camera who kept running into every dangerous thing. Thanks for keeping me alive. Also, big thank you to all of the various players who sent me footage from their perspective
which was very helpful in a scenario where, for example, someone was doing one of those duel fights, and this was as close as I could get to the action. Or when we were in the dungeons and raids and our teams had to split up into groups, going in different directions, doing different things. It made it much easier to showcase what all was happening throughout the run, and I appreciate that very much. But most of all, I want to thank these people right here, because these folks coordinated and organized all of this. 7-ish months ago, when I started preparing and recording Shadowbringers patch stuff, I gathered together this little Bozja brain trust of a bunch of people who know Bozja and were willing to help coordinate all this. And I say help, really, they took it over. I just showed up. Eos here put out the call amongst all the Dentalis Theater folk to gather recruits and volunteers to join us for all this stuff. Did all the coordination to figure out who was going to be taking part in which content and which fight so that everyone could secure themselves a spot, but also ideally secure themselves a spot getting to do the stuff they specifically wanted to do. Complex spreadsheets were involved. Dan Oceans over here started an entire boot camp for Bozja, gathering people together to train and practice for the duels, to learn the mechanics, to learn this whole thing inside and out, to master Bozja so that when it was time to power level Derman through this stuff, this entire crew was a well-oiled machine. I've read back through the Discord logs on all of this work that was done for months, just mouth agape in amazement at the amount of time and effort these folks put in. But make no mistake, all of these people contributed a great deal, whether it was helping to organize folks, whether it was leading specific parties through specific content, whether it was calling out mechanics in voice chat, or even just providing their feedback and consultancy as we planned all of this. These folks are the ones to thank for Bozja being in this story mode playthrough, and I am incredibly grateful. Eos, Dan Oceans, Jake, Henri, Nijiru, Alice, Tartari, and Dwaven, thank you very much. I am extremely grateful for all the time and effort y'all put in to help make this possible for me to record and showcase for everyone else. We are all grateful. Thank you. Thank all of you. Thank you all for making time. Even just for my sake. I've never seen all this Bozja stuff all the way through before, and now I have. And that's thanks to you folks, so thank you very, very much. But it has been another very long episode, so maybe let's go ahead and wrap it up. Next time, a little epilogue to put a bow on this whole Bozja story we've been seeing. Take care, everyone, and I will see you next time. Oh, goodness, help!